Imagine you're lying in bed at 2 in the morning. You're exhausted, but your brain is wide awake, replaying a scene from 3 years ago. Maybe it was a betrayal, a cutting remark, or a moment where you were treated unfairly. You can feel it, can't you? That familiar tightness in your chest. Your jaw clenches. Your heart starts to pick up speed as if the person who hurt you is standing right there in the room. It's a strange human glitch. We're the only species that can sit in a perfectly safe, quiet room and trigger a full-blown physical stress response just by thinking about a past injury. We call it holding a grudge, but biologically, it feels more like holding a hot coal. We're the ones getting burned, yet we can't seem to let go. So here's the puzzle. Why is our biology so bad at moving on? And why does letting go feel less like a moral choice and more like a physical battle? To understand this, we have to look at a tiny almond-shaped part of your brain called the amygdala. Think of it as your body's smoke detector. Its only job is to scan for threats. When someone hurts us, the amygdala screams, "Danger!" and it kicks off a massive chemical chain reaction. Your body floods with cortisol and adrenaline. Your blood pressure spikes. Your immune system actually dials back because, in a crisis, your body doesn't care about fighting off a cold. It cares about surviving the attack. The problem is that the amygdala doesn't have a calendar. It doesn't know that the attack happened years ago. Every time you revisit that hurt, you're essentially hitting the replay button on that chemical cocktail. You are physically living in a state of high alert 24/7. It's like leaving the engine of your car idling at red line while it's parked in the garage. Eventually, something is going to break. This is where the biological hack comes in. When researchers study forgiveness, they aren't looking at it as a nice thing to do. They're looking at it as a physiological off switch. When we truly begin to forgive, we aren't just being the bigger person. We are actually signaling to our nervous system that the war is over. We're telling the amygdala it can finally stop the alarm. Think of it as shifting gears. Most of us spend our lives in the sympathetic nervous system. That's the fight-or-flight mode. Forgiveness is the bridge to the parasympathetic system, the rest and digest mode. It's the only way to lower your baseline cortisol levels and let your heart rate variability return to a healthy, resilient pattern. It's literally medicine for your cells. But let's be honest, forgiveness feels incredibly dangerous. It feels like we're letting someone off the hook. It feels like we're saying what they did was okay. But what if we reframe that? What if forgiveness isn't about the other person's guilt, but about your own freedom? There's an old piece of wisdom that says we should forgive our debtors. In a modern sense, think of it like an old-fashioned ledger. When someone hurts us, we open a page in our mind and write down exactly what they owe us. We expect them to pay it back with an apology or by suffering as much as we did. We carry that ledger everywhere. It's heavy, it's exhausting, and the secret is they might never pay. They might not even know they owe you. Forgiveness is simply the act of closing the book. It's deciding that you aren't going to spend one more ounce of your limited life force trying to collect a debt that will likely never be paid. It's an act of profound humility and courage. It's admitting that while we can't control the person who hurt us, we can refuse to let them rent space in our heads anymore. There's this beautiful idea of grace. It's the ultimate biological hack because it suggests that we are all in some way carrying debts we can't pay. When we offer grace to someone else, we're tapping into a strength that's bigger than our own ego. It's like we're saying, I've been given a seat at a table I didn't earn, so I don't need to be the judge and jury for everyone else. It's an invitation to drop the heavy robes of the judge and just be human again. This doesn't mean you have to go get coffee with the person who hurt you. It doesn't mean trust is restored. Trust is earned, but forgiveness is given. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself so you can breathe again. It's the moment you realize that letting go isn't a sign of weakness. It's the highest form of self-preservation. So the next time you feel that old familiar heat rising in your chest, just take a breath. Recognize it for what it is, a smoke detector going off in an empty room. You don't have to carry the ledger anymore. You can choose to close the book, put down the coal, and finally, get some sleep.